Well, guys, here in the past half hour or so, we've seen the market flip from red to green. Everything just changed for the cryptocurrency market and XRP on some very bullish news that just came in. Now, I'm going to talk to you about that. Also, though, we do have some BS out there. I want to call out because it is incredibly important we talk about the truth here is breaking. Billionaires are very angry right now at Trump's XRP crypto reserve. That's what we are seeing across the board because Trump is facing anger with these billionaire bank, tech, and business leaders on a decision that adds assets beyond Bitcoin. Yes, the likes of Saylor and others that we talked about yesterday. In order to protect their bags, they are now flipping on Trump, as Forbes put out an article titled "Trump's Crypto Reserve Hit with Unexpected Backlash from Billionaire Allies." As I like this comment right here. Laugh out loud, yeah. Pissing off billionaires is kind of the point. XRP is a people's crypto, American people's crypto. Now, also a couple things in the news here I want to share with you. Before we get into some of the BS, I want to cover that, get out of the way, and then talk to you about the bullish, incredibly bullish news we just got. Crypto czar David Sachs claims the White House is supporting congressional effort to rescind, quote, rescind the so-called broker DeFi rule. We are pushing forward as breaking. Kraken here today has announced that the SEC has agreed to completely drop that lawsuit against the cryptocurrency exchange. And there are not a whole lot of cases left, but Ripple is one of them. Now, while we see all this bullish news, we know we have a crypto summit here in Washington, D.C. on Friday. We've got a ton of manipulation, a lot being said. The likes of Michael Saylor, again, we covered it yesterday. He's going to be at the White House. Will we see Ripple CEO or some other representatives at the White House to be determined? I haven't seen anything just yet, but I want to call this out first because BlackRock CEO, guys, comes out today and says, if we are to see a big dip this year, as he talks about how it's going to be an incredibly volatile year, a lot of turbulence, right? He says, buy big dip if it comes. Here's the deal. We'll buy the dip. If the whales are buying the dip, if BlackRock is buying the dip, that is what we need to watch. And that's what we'll be watching on this channel because we're not going to just listen to what they tell us to do. We're going to be looking on chain. What are they actually doing? Because they're going to tell you what to do. But what they do is generally the exact opposite. Now, experienced analysts evaluates the latest situation of Bitcoin and XRP. What awaits the price? What are we waiting for? As the analyst says, a bearish prediction is based on the head and shoulders pattern formed by the XRP's daily chart, yada, yada, yada. We can look at the technicals all day if we want to. What we know is we recently got an announcement from Donald Trump himself stating XRP will be in the strategic reserve. The U.S. government has confirmed and told us they have confirmed, the U.S. government has confirmed they will be buying XRP. So while we hear analysts out there claiming XRP will hit $54.19 by this Sunday, I want to claim this. This is a ridiculous statement. Not saying it can't happen. Anything can happen in cryptocurrency. Could we hit $54.19 by Sunday? Who knows, right? Not very likely, but who knows? This analyst, though, calling out a $54.19 XRP with certainty by this Sunday is feeding you BS. So these are things we need to be very careful from and understand what we're getting into. With XRP, we have to know the value here. So I want to play this quick clip. It's a little under a minute, and it explains the core value of XRP as a math-based currency. Very simple to understand if you listen to the words very carefully.
But what we believe will happen is that most market makers, in filling out the world of exchanging value from anything of value, again, currencies, merchant reward points, airline miles, gold, silver, anything that you define as value. Most people will actually, most market makers will use XRP. Because as a currency without a counterparty, it is a completely unique thing in the protocol, just like Bitcoin is completely unique. So again, our view of why math-based currencies are so valuable isn't necessarily that they replace existing currencies, it's just that they have a very unique feature in that they have no counterparty. So the whole world, the world only has to think about one thing when it comes to Bitcoin or Ripple, is the price in any microsecond in time. You never have to think about the counterparty risks. It turns out that is a completely unique thing that's never existed before. So why is that important?
This is how we move the world of finance forward. There's no counterparty risk. It's going to allow the world to operate in a more efficient way. This is digital gold, right? This is a commodity that you want to continue to accumulate if possible. But we're not going to do it on the words of BlackRock CEO. Watch what they're doing, not what they tell you to do. Now, just in US and Ukraine sign a minerals deal. This is absolutely huge. As a couple things to know about this deal. Published by Ukraine media before Trump-Zelensky meeting, says there's an investment fund, quote, investment fund will be set up in Ukraine's reconstruction. The Prime Minister said that Washington will manage the fund on equal terms as well as Ukraine, right? According to the deal, Ukraine will contribute 50% of future proceeds from the state-owned mineral resources, oil, and gas to fund, and the fund will then invest to promote safety, security, and prosperity, and so forth. And so looks like they've reached a deal. Of course, the market absolutely loving it. Up nearly 3% globally, and XRP up about 4% at the time. Now, we've got an incredibly volatile market right now, very obvious to see. You must not panic when you see these big dips like yesterday. We were down nearly 20%, but the day before we were up 33%. It is important to, once again, know what you hold with XRP, which is an asset that is going to be so much higher in time. That's all I got for you for now. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section below, guys. As always, I appreciate all your time and support. We'll leave Uphold and a pinned link below, and we'll see you all in the next one.